Hello everyone, welcome to today's video, where today we're going to be looking at the Hasbro Black Series, Star Wars, Revenge of the Sith, Clone Commander Cody. This is the Star Wars The Black Series. This is a Walmart exclusive. This is like on the retro carding, very nostalgic. I actually had a couple of these back in the day, like the 3 3/4 inch ones. I had a few of the clones and a few droids. And I think that's about it. I think I might have an Anakin and an Obi-Wan, but it was mostly those. And then my dad had all the old Kinder toys, and we'd play with those together. And my grandpa found me this really cool big Rancor for free one time. They were handing out these big-ass toys for free at someone's birthday party, and he grabbed me that because he thought it looked cool. I don't even think he knew it was from Star Wars. He might have because he was a Star Wars fan too, but yeah, so I have a lot of memories of Star Wars. I just don't collect that much Star Wars. Honestly, I have nothing Star Wars related right now. I have a few things in my pile of loot because I do want to start. And even though I hate the prequels, it has been a long time since I watched them, but I do not like the prequels. I've never liked the prequels. But I do love the Clone Wars cartoon. So this will work in that for me. And, maybe I'll rewatch the prequels and maybe I'll find a new love for them. But I've never really liked the prequels. I think at this point, I'd say I even like the sequels better than the prequels. Even though I hate 2 of the sequels, I just like the first sequel so much that it kind of ranks all 3 of the prequels for me. I know that's a bit of a hot take, but I'm not a sequel guy. Or a prequel guy. I'm not a sequel guy either. But I'm definitely not a prequel guy unless we're talking about the Clone Wars cartoon. Then that's the best Star Wars thing in my opinion. And Clone Commander Cody is my favorite Star Wars character, actually. So on a good day, he's my favorite. Sometimes he might be outranked by The Mandalorian or Obi-Wan Kenobi. There are some characters that are up there. Han Solo. There are some characters that I love. But Commander Cody's just always been my favorite clone and one of my favorite characters, if not my favorite character. So, yeah, we're going to take a look at this guy, and we're going to take a look at him. If you hate seeing figures open, close your eyes or something, I guess. And, honestly, if I did keep these on card, this was a nice mint card, and I do like that card backing, with the Darth Vader and all the fire from, what was it, Mustafar? Yeah, it looks nice. It does look nice. And then we'll just take this guy out. And it is, honestly, it's fitting that this is my first, Black Series, because it's on a new updated clone body, I believe, so I can see what all the Black Series has to offer in terms of their articulation, because I have a few, G.I. Joe from Hasbro, and I have a lot of Marvel Legends from Hasbro. I have a few Fortnite figures from Hasbro, so I can see their other pretty big line, and if it's any good. Okay, so first we're going to look at him. Well, we're going to put the helmet on because that's the look. And one thing I will say about removable helmets is I don't think I'm a fan of them because it makes it look big and bobbleheaded. This one's not horrible, but it's definitely big, and it kind of goes to low on the neck. I want to have a little bit of the skin showing so it can look a little bit more proportional, because I don't want to see the skin, but I also, that having it up a little higher makes it look a little bit more proportional. So that's just a me thing. I'm sure people love their removable helmets. I'm not a big fan of them. So yeah, he looks great. Not as dirty as you'd expect a clone or Star Wars character in general to be. I think he has a pack on that you can remove too. Maybe not. I might just be pulling on glue or pulling a peg out that shouldn't be pulled out. But I also, since this is I want to use him as an animated character, I'm cool with there not being as much dirt on him. But I think if you were using it as a live action, or you wanted to maybe build these, army build these, because if you're not a big Star Wars fan, you wouldn't really know that this is a specific character. You could just use this as another clone if you really like the color yellow or like the design on him or whatever. But obviously for me, I know this is Clone Commander Cody. He's my favorite clone. He's up there as one of my favorite Star Wars characters, like I said. So I won't army build these unless I just want an army of Cody's because I love Cody so much. But I don't think I'll do that because he's a little expensive. I paid like $34 to get those shipped out from Walmart. So he's not a cheap figure to get. I couldn't find him in store, so I had to get him shipped from Walmart. This is one of the only Walmart exclusives I've ever been able to get, aside from the Prowler and a couple others, but that's just because they came up on Big Bad Toy Store later. I got this directly from Walmart, the website, so that was cool that I've actually got to get one. So, yeah. He looks nice. He's got nice detailing. All the detailing that I can tell, that I kind of remember from Cody is on there. I can't tell if that's meant to be removable. It's part of the look, obviously, so it's not going to ever get taken off, but, like, it looks like there's a peg in there that you can pull out, but I don't want to, I don't know if I'm tearing a glue, so I'm not going to do that anymore. You got the pieces of gold on there that really look nice with the yellow. So, yeah. One thing I will say about this, and we'll just get into accessories now. He comes with the removable helmet. Honestly, I wish he came with the Phase 1 helmet. I don't know if I'm the only one that feels this way. I vastly prefer Phase 1 helmets over Phase 2 helmets. That's why I like Rex so much, because he always kept his Phase 1 helmet. I get why the Phase 2 helmets are a thing, because it's kind of showing their progression into the dark side, progression into slowly, showing off their, the transition stage from Stage 1 to Stormtrooper. I get why they did it. I get why it's thematically relevant and why it's good thematically. It's just, I don't really like the look too much. At least, it's not, I don't hate it, but I don't like it as much as the Phase 1. And I feel like the Phase 1 really differentiates the clones from the Stormtroopers a lot more. But, like I said, I get why this is there. But, I wish he came with the other one. And I honestly just wish it was a head instead of a removable helmet. And they came with one of these heads that you could pop off, so you could have the helmet in his hand or whatever. But, Black Series doesn't come with a lot of accessories as it is. They don't come with hands. They don't come with alternate heads usually. Unless it's like an exclusive or like a variant that's really rare or like hard to get. Or something like the Star Killer set, which I really do want that set. I should probably pick that up soon before it goes too much, because I need Stormtroopers anyway. And The Force Unleashed is one of my favorite. It's my favorite Star Wars game, and it's up there with some of my favorite games of all time. So, yeah, I want to get him, and I want to get Cal Kestis. I want to get the original trilogy crew in my favorite looks. I'm not going to be the type of guy that wants to get them all in the same movie looks, probably, because I prefer some looks from some movies and some looks from other movies. Like, I want to get the Mayfex Luke Skywalker, and then, have the SH Figure Arts, Han, R2, and C-3PO, and then get the Hasbro Leia and Chewbacca, because I like the, they have one on sale right now on Big Bad Toy Store, and it's the one I like. I think it's the A New Hope version. It's the version where he has like the wavier hair. It kind of looks more like Han Solo, honestly. So that's the version I like. And then obviously SH Figure Arts for Han and C-3PO and R2, just because they're better figures, and R2-D2 is one of my favorite Star Wars characters, so I have to get that better. And maybe I'll get the Black Series C-3PO, because I heard he's the best one from a few reviewers. So we'll just have to see. But yeah, like I said, I want to mix and match. And then the Mayfex Darth Vader, because I'm not the type of person that cares about consistencies with Darth Vader. If he gets the point across, he gets the point across, and I'm cool with that. So yeah, but I will mostly be collecting this era of Star Wars, and then like the Mandalorian stuff, if I do collect a lot more. Because, like I said, this is my favorite era of Star Wars. Clones are my favorite, which is why it's so crazy that I despise the prequel so much, because this is my favorite era of Star Wars. But the Clone Wars just got me into it. And both Clone Wars shows, too. Because I watched the original Clone Wars one, too. That was like I don't know, you'd call it a limited run series, probably, because it was really short. It was like, 9-10 episode series. And it was really good. I really liked it, so... Yeah, I want to get a bunch of the, random Jedis and stuff, like Kit Fisto and all them. I wouldn't call it a Kit Fisto or random Jedi, but you know what I mean. Ayla Secura, obviously characters like, I already have a Anakin and a Ahsoka. I have the Kid Ahsoka, and then I have a Rex, all of my pile of loot. I'm going to get that one, Mace Windu. I need to get a good prequel Yoda, but I also want to get a original trilogy Yoda to go with that crew, so yeah. I know I'm mumbling and talking a lot, but I just, this is my first Star Wars figure, so I have a lot to get out. And I've watched a lot of Black Series reviews, mostly from Robo, Robo Don't Know, and it makes the articulation not very appealing to me, especially knowing that they only get single hinge joints, but they do, from what I've seen with old Black Series figures, they get about the same range as you'd get on those figures, so it's not the worst thing ever, but I feel like I want double jointed legs, at least legs, because these are troopers, and especially for I'd say the Jedi, so you can get them in those crazy lightsaber wielding poses and stuff. I just don't feel like this is enough for a trooper or a Jedi. Maybe someone like Emperor Palpatine this would be enough for, because he doesn't really do that much crazy shit, at least in OT. But yeah, that's just a little nitpick that I have. So yeah, you saw the range, and then he gets an upper bicep swivel. You get the leg swivel. This one has a separate boot swivel down here, so this stuff can get misaligned pretty easily because this is a separate piece. So I think this has more articulation than most Black Series figures. And then you get good head. Well, we'll just take that off to show. You get pretty good head tail. You get up. You get some down. You get a little bit torso articulation. The arms can get up to about there. And then this is a separate piece pegged in the... Oh, yeah, okay. And you get a bit of a butterfly joint. Yeah, you get some twist. Yeah, you get, like I said, that. You can kick up to about there. Kick out to pretty good. Kick back, okay. So you got that. You got a hinge and swivel. You got pretty good, foot articulation too. So it's not a bad figure or anything. I'm glad I picked this guy up because, like I said, he is my favorite Star Wars character up there. At least he's up there in top 5. If he's not my favorite, he's top 5, definitely. He's up there with, the likes of Han Solo, Bosk, Mandalorian, Din Djarin, obviously, is what I meant. Yeah, he's up there. For as far as accessories go, we already took a look at the helmet, but the helmet looks really nice. You got all the details on there, and they're actually releasing a scale replica helmet of Cody's helmet, the Hasbro is, and I think I will be picking that up because I just love Cody so much. And then the Tamira Morrison likeness looks pretty good. Looks like a younger Tamira Morrison. And that guy made out like a bandit with all the license. If he sold his likeness for licensing, and he still gets licensing for every figure they make, all the troopers, the Boba Fett's, the Jango Fett's, he gets money for those. If that's good for him. I mean, he's great as the characters, and he deserves it. And then as far as other accessories go, you get this is the standard clone rifle that I feel like they all come with. I think they come with the longer ones sometimes, and then they might have the E11s. I know the E11. That's the only gun from Star Wars I definitely know the name of. But even if they don't recognize the name, I can't say the name. I recognize the gun for this, and you can definitely get him in a 2-hand pose with this gun. See, you got a 2-hand pose there. You can make him look badass. You put that helmet on. Yeah, and this just makes me want to get all the other clones on an updated body like this, all of them. And I really hope that they start re-releasing the droids a lot more, because I need a lot of the fodder battle droids. The super battle droids are pretty good, easy to get right now. I feel like the droidekas, which are my favorite droid, battle droid, they look pretty easy to obtain for now. And then the commando ones and all those, they all look pretty good to get right now. But the only way I see the other ones to get are with a clone, or you get it with the ship, small little hover ship that they use. So I hope we can get those out there more. And then as far as another accessory, this is I think new, but here's this little holocron pad where he talks to the Emperor Palpatine, and that's really nice. Even if I don't use this for Cody, this will be going in someone's hand. This will probably be Anakin. I'll have Anakin talking to him at the front of the display that I put these in. But as you can see, maybe if you can get it in there, you're supposed to get it in there like that. That does kind of make the fingers a little weird, but you can totally get him in a good pose where he's yes, we'll kill the Jedi. So yeah. And I think another reason I love this character so much is because he's Obi-Wan's right-hand man, and I love Obi-Wan as well. And yeah, I love this character. I really hope that Mafex or SH Figure Arts starts doing named clones, because they have a couple, at least SH Figure Arts I think has a couple like fodder clones, and they look cool, and maybe I'll pick up a couple of those just to have for like any display I want to do. But I hope that they do like a couple, like at least Rex. I want Cody, obviously he's my favorite, but I'd like a Rex, I'd like a Gal, however you pronounce it, it's Gal or Gale or something, you know, Echo, Fives, you know, all those characters I would love to see someone tackle besides Hasbro. And Hasbro's doing a great job, don't get me wrong. This is a nice figure. So I only have a couple minutes left on the recording, so let's get into size comparisons, and then I'll let you be on your way. Alright, so for size comparisons, we'll do a couple other Hasbro series. Here's the Bat from the Hasbro, G.I. Joe. And then here's the Cobra Commander. And then we have a Marvel Legends over here. This is the Secret Wars Iron Man. And then here's the... I put the Rhodey head on him. Well, it's not Rhodey, but it looks like Rhodey. They could be passed as Rhodey in my opinion, so... And then we have this is the War Journal Punisher. So this is the same with a couple of Hasbro things. I'm not going to do too many comparisons because I don't have a lot of time. But we'll do these are the... What are these? The Jazzwares movie Sonic figures. So there he is with them. Tails just dropped. And then here are the SH Figure Arts. Luffy and Ace. And then my favorite is definitely the Zoro. So that's them. And I don't know if I've said it, but the Black Series kind of scales more true 1/12 scale, so he's a little shorter, which so that'll fit in with stuff like your Jada Toys and your SH Figure Arts and stuff. Cammy for Jada Toys is just a little short no matter what, so she can fit in okay. And then even though he's not technically in Fortnite, they do have clones in Fortnite, so here's a couple Fortnite figures. Alrighty, if you want to see him with a huge figure, here he is with the Gameverse. Venom, and then, yeah, so that's everything. This is a really good figure, and I recommend you try to find him if you can. But I don't know if he's any better than anything else. Once I start getting more into Black Series, we'll see. So, thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.